Let's welcome back former U.S. Army Lieutenant Colonel, current military history teacher at NC State University, and author of such books as Why We Lost, a general's inside account of the Iraq and Afghanistan wars, Lieutenant Colonel Daniel Bolger. Lieutenant Colonel, here we have the Russians and the Americans talking again. John Kerry is in Russia, or in Rome, I should say, talking to their foreign minister. And basically, the foreign minister there, Sergei Lavrov, says it's useless for Washington to try to pressure Moscow in the world arena. Plus, at the same time, the Pentagon is considering the deployment, the redeployment, if you will, of nuclear missiles in Europe. Are we heading towards MAD all over again?
Well, I think it's important to remember, Ed, we're already there. I mean, today the Russians have thousands of nuclear weapons pointed at us, and we have several thousand pointed at them. I mean, we don't like to talk about it, but that's the country that our stuff is aimed at, that and the Chinese, and the Russians have them aimed at us. Tonight, even as we speak right now, if a Russian guy wanted to do it, and I don't think they do, but if they wanted to do it, they could fire all that stuff off at us. So, I mean, we're already there.
Then why do we keep kidding ourselves that the Russians may be a salvageable relationship and maybe, oh, just maybe, Vladimir Putin is just a preening demigod, if you will, who wants everybody to see him shirtless and we don't have to worry too much about him? Why do we keep kidding ourselves like this?
You know, that is the question of the day. I mean, Vladimir Putin's a former member of the KGB, the Russian secret police. He rose to lieutenant colonel in that odious organization. He's effectively the dictator of Russia. He's run the country for 14 years. He's manipulated their constitution. He's denied rights. He's invaded Crimea and taken it over, which is a region in the Black Sea, a large region. I mean, the guy's a dictator. Look at the ceremonies around the Olympics in 2014 in Sochi and compare them with 1936 with Hitler in Germany. They look pretty similar.
Would we then be smart to basically look him in the eye and say, that's it, hard line, don't cross it, we're done, stop the pussyfooting around here with John Kerry and others, and basically go nose to nose with this guy? Or is that just fraught with an inherent amount of danger?
Listen, it's too dangerous not to be clear with these guys. We have got to let Putin and the Russians know that they have gone far enough, and that any further, I mean, as you know, they're butt up against NATO allies like Poland, Estonia, Lithuania, Latvia. They go into any of those countries, that's an attack on NATO. And according to Article 5 of the NATO agreement, an attack on one's the attack on all. And then you are talking about a nuclear standoff. So we got to stop these guys now.
Let's turn to Israel very quickly here, because there's even talk that the President Obama, may have some sort of sanctions plan to get Israel. Benjamin Netanyahu is basically taking over the government until they have a new election next year. Are we part of the problem there? The fact that we are not firmly behind the Israelis in everything they do, and that's weakening them, and in case weakening the entire Middle East?
Listen, Ed, if I could figure out what we got against Israel with this current administration, I don't understand it. They've been a loyal ally. We've been close to them for years. They cooperate. I mean, you talk about guys who know how to deal with terrorists. The Israelis know that, and they've shared that practical knowledge with us. We have worked together for decades working with that country. It is the only legitimate democracy in that region, and why we would turn our back on them is beyond me.
All right, here comes the ISIS question now. Apparently, according to a pamphlet, question and answers on female slaves and their freedom, allegedly from ISIS. Can you take non-Muslim women and children captive? Yes. Can you have sex with them, even prepubescent girls? Yes. Can you sell them or give them as gifts to others? Yes. I say all this because there's always optimism, it seems, Lieutenant Colonel. Don't worry, we're getting control of everything. We're there, we're tamping them down. Would it be fair to say that in light of this and in light of what we're looking at, there's no cause for optimism that we're actually gaining control over ISIS at this time?
Hey, there's absolutely no cause for optimism, Ed. I got to tell you right now, that just shows what dangerous, difficult people these guys are. I mean, they are people who will cut the heads off of innocents. They'll slice their necks. They're as bad as they can be. And the only way to deal with them finally is to kill them.
What about the Taliban now? Because seeing as we're pulling out of Afghanistan, attacks are rising in the Afghan capital now. Aren't we right where you and others who know military history maybe a year ago said we'd be, that quite frankly, we're heading out? Here comes the Taliban. Thank you, Mr. President.
Yeah, we're right exactly in the same place. There's no doubt about it, Ed. What we've done is by pulling our forces out the way we're doing it, and we got some still there. We got about 10,000 still there, but we've announced a withdrawal. The Taliban will fill that vacuum. They are also head cutters, enslavers. I mean, they're exactly as bad as ISIS, the same kind of enemy. They can only accept force as an answer, and we got to give it to them. And if we don't give them that, they will fill the vacuum.
I only have about 15 seconds left. You believe that 10 years down the road, we're going to look back and call this president the most ineffective and the most dangerous president to put us in the position of weakness that we've seen in current memory?
We definitely need to be stronger, and it does concern me that we're not.
And we certainly are not. All right, Lieutenant Colonel Daniel. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to give you a promotion there, but then again, it is that wonderful time of year. It's always good. Lieutenant Colonel Daniel Bolger, we want to thank you so much. A reminder again, the book is Why We Lost, a general's inside account of the Iraq and Afghanistan wars. Thank you so much to you and your family. A very Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Ed. Thank you.
Take care. Break, and we're back with the dare tossed up of the president with regard to whomever holds his seat in 2016. That and more coming up right here on MidPoint.